afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Athens. Welcome to my presentation on a case study of how we at WebBunch implemented the 6-hour workday. 6 hours are enough, in our opinion, and also it seems they're enough based on empirical data after running this experiment for the last 3 years. Welcome to Drupal Developer Days. It's very nice to see the turn up to this event being more than we expected, I think. Hope the weather helps, the food helps. It's a nice destination. Hope you enjoy, everyone that's visiting that enjoys Athens as much as they can. Who am I? My name is Nikos Haliotis. I'm the co-founder and head of everything new at WebBunch. I have been for the last 5 years. I enjoy creating environments, technological or physical environments that work harmoniously. And yeah, that's who I am. And who is WebBunch? WebBunch is a boutique web agency. We create custom e-shops and websites, and we design them also. We are 7 people from 4 cities. Oh, thank you. That helps, I guess. We are 7 people from 4 cities, which makes working in an office pretty problematic. We were founded during COVID, so we never opened one and never will, I guess. That's why we work fully remote, and we also work 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, since, let's say, 2023, February 2023. This presentation is about the implementation of the 6-hour workday, because it sounds good on paper, for most, but we have to dive deeper, why we did it, what did we need to change to make it work, and what happened to the company once we changed it. Also, there's small tips to avoid when implementing the 6-hour workday. What was the motivation? First of all, let's set the groundwork. We are a results-based company, so there's no need to be at the spot for 8 hours. The availability is not the main KPI for success here. It's more of how productive we can be with the time we are at work. Also, for us as a company, it's very important to avoid burnout to everyone working at the company, for obvious reasons. Employee retention, when you are a small company of that works with trust, works with knowledge, when someone leaves, it's a big hit. You invest all this time, all these resources to make someone part of your team, and when someone leaves, it's a hit. It's a hit. It's not like when someone leaves from a company with 1,400 people, when you're like 7 or 5 or 6 or whatever, or 10, it's a bigger percentage of your workforce. We felt like our last 2 hours were not that productive as the first 6. This is also backed by studies that people cannot work at full capacity for over 6 hours, and that's why, and we also felt that, like, after 6 hours, the last 2 hours are a little bit, let's get to the end of the day, not make something very important right now, not build something new. And I don't know how many from you are from Greece here or from more advanced countries where working 6 hours is not so radical as it is in Greece, but we wanted to do something that was innovative. So what challenges do we face? Because you always have to weigh the difficulties with the benefits before you start something, and there needs to be trust between management and employees. that's, for me, one of the most important things. We do try to give our employees 2 hours of their day back, but we also have to trust them that they are going to adjust and will try to work as effectively as possible for these 6 hours that we want them to be there. We have to communicate effectively. That means that we don't have 1 hour to catch up or 1 hour to talk around a specific topic. We have to prepare for what we had, for the communication with our team member, and be able to relay the problem effectively and not waste time. Project management needs to be on point. It's kind of the same with effective communication, but organizationally, you have to have everything very clearly written, very well defined, so that there is no need, not no need, but less need for communication. To give you an example, you have to have as few can I ping you about this task I have communications as possible. People need to be ready to change habits about how they work, how they structure work, how they view work, how relaxed they want to feel at work, because it's a little intense working 6 hours. Yeah, so you have to be able to really focus and not be like chill. For me, that was one of the biggest difficulties to adjust. I've come from a consulting background, so I've worked 12, 15 hours for a long period of time. And you learn to pace yourself through the day if you have to work such long hours. To adjust to that, to working like more focused, more intensively, is a challenge. And this is more of a KPI. Like, everything seems nice, but the output needs to stay the same. You have to be able to work and produce the same output in these 6 hours instead of the 8. Going from theory to practice, we used a 6-month trial period to test how this would work out. And I'm not going to lie to you, it went fast. Like, the day went really fast. I don't know, for the first, I think, 2 months, we were like, it's already 2 o'clock, and we have until 4, and I'm not nearly close to where I wanted to be with my workday. So we had to shift our focus, work more productively, and do some minor changes to our operations. And in 3 months, productivity reached the same levels as before, so we kept it. And not only did we keep it, we also managed to hire 3 people in the course of the next 2 years, which also was very important for a company our size, because we were able to poach senior developers from bigger companies. I don't see anyone here, but yeah, okay. We were able to poach a senior developer from a bigger company, and we really needed him at that moment. It was a very important hire for us, and it was one of the very important factors he considered. So how do we stay productive? We work remotely, but remote work can feel isolating a lot of times. So we have virtual office, and that gives us the feeling of being together with other people in some rooms. We don't use Teams, we don't use Slack, we use a little unconventional tool for business, but it's like we have a Discord server where you can clearly see the people in voice channels, call them virtual offices, and that's where you see like happy faces working and you feel like you belong on a team. We have our own Scrum variation for agile development. We shield our developers for clients. That's why we have account management and project management. And so nobody will call our developer up and tell him the thing you made on my website, it doesn't work. It's probably me who listens to that and conveys that to project management, and we go forward from that. The ticket is opened, and someone will get to it, like, based on priorities. And that's what I already told you. We organize everything in Jira, so everything is a task. We try to not ping everyone, especially in the middle of the day. Like, we have some meetings in the morning and maybe end of day, but during like the main course of work, we try to not bother our developers, because we want them to focus deeply on their tasks and be more productive. And yeah, that's why our meetings also have a maximum length of 30 minutes. Or we try to, but so a day at Webans looks like this. Daily stand-up meeting in the morning, then we work on Jira tasks, then we have a lunch break, and end of day we write our progress in our dedicated text channel. We all obviously do ad hoc meetings, but when it's necessary, and we do a sprint planning and retro meeting every 2 weeks, which is part of our Scrum. And what we learned from everything that we applied. The productivity stayed equal, more or less. It's hard to measure this because it's a small data set, and we don't really want to bother our developers with logging every minute. But the output of a day stayed, because that's what you measure. You measure the output of a day, stayed more or less the same. We saw a steep increase of satisfaction in the KPI of work-life balance. Also, everything with an asterisk is based on one-on-one meetings we conduct with our employees every 6 months. We also saw extremely few days of sick leaves. The number was, last time I checked, 1 day, I think, or maybe less than 1 day per employee per year, which is a lot less than the average in Greece and Europe also. We also saw very low levels of work-related stress, and we had like 0 burnout, which is a success. And these are some quotes from our team about the 6-hour workday. 6-hour work week is a little extreme. Wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, so how do you find all the time for all this? Putting exercise in the daily routine, and also still having more time. In Greece, there's also like the split 8-hour work day, which is some hours in the morning and then some hours in the afternoon, which is like you work the whole day, basically. So one of our employees was in that kind of environment and went to our environment, and it's like, and they say it affects the way they feel, and like it extends after work and before work, and that's very important because it affects their lives, and this is something that we want to have a positive effect on and not a negative one. Yeah, so this is basically it, but I wanted to leave some room so we can have questions, discussions, and all that, because it's a topic that needs discussion, and it feeds off discussion, and I would really like to see, first of all, how many of you are not from Greece? Okay, half, maybe more. And I guess like the further north you venture, the 6-hour work day is more popular, or like how many are, in how many of your countries is the 6-hour workday not a radical idea? I'm not sure. All of you, okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure actually. I'm from Norway, and where companies are discussing it, but it's not a big thing yet. It's very rare few. It's like the regular 8-hour, 7.5, 8-hour day.
Okay.
But there's conversations about it.
I've worked in a few agencies, and a lot maybe have an 8-hour workday, but 6 hours is productivity time, and they have like, you have to bill at least 6 hours a day, but you still have to work 8, which is rubbish.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I wanted to touch on. Like, first of all, the time for questions is now, and if we have more time, I have some more notes I made, but I wanted to give like more time to questions, and if we have more time, I'll touch on some things.
Yeah, no, what I want to follow up in the 6 hours, in the Netherlands, it's not 6 hours, for example, but it's 8 hours, but one less day, so 4 days for 8 hours. So they switch up, and then they can select, like, for example, most of the times they work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
This might be equivalent, but also not that much.
Okay. It's more hours.
There are less hours, like they are working 32 hours per week.
Yes, it's more hours. 32 is more than 30.
Yeah, definitely.
But
yeah.
I think it's less productive.
It's less productive?
I think it's less productive because you have to also enable yourself. Like once you get going in the week, especially because you told me like in the middle of the week you get 1 day off, right?
Yeah, well, some people, yeah, that can be an option, or either Wednesday or Monday or Friday. Most of the people are choosing Wednesday though, so yeah, there is this gap. I get the gap that you're saying.
Because I think like you don't tackle the problem that you don't get the productivity drop off after 6 hours.
Yeah.
And also you have to re-enable, like you have 2 Mondays in your week.
Yeah, you don't get
that way.
This continuous...
yes,
yeah.
You get 2 Mondays on the week.
Maybe it might be more productive if you are off on Monday or Friday. I'm not sure, but still.
But still, like after 3 days, it's more difficult to get into your flow.
Personally, not for me.
My opinion, though.
This is kind of a question rather than a comment. How do you manage, like obviously you're isolated, you're the 6-hour company. When your businesses that you work with, they obviously understand, but there'll be a lot of others that are just like, hang on, it's 4:30, I need to get in touch with my developer, and they've all gone home. How do you manage other companies that still work 8-hour days when you're not available almost? I think most people accept Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, banks are open, everything's open. So you just expect things to be open, but at 9 a.m. on a Monday morning, I can't get in touch with my developer, my site's been down all weekend. They don't start till 10.
Yeah. Of course, there is exceptions to that. Also, like hard capping at 6 hours. The model we're proposing is not you never work over 6 hours, right? But it's a baseline. If something's broken, you have to fix it. Like we try to avoid it like hell, but sometimes it's important. Sometimes you provide a service and you have to be there. But like for the regular thing, it's not like that big of a deal. 2 hours, like after some time, people get used to like, okay, I have to contact them before 4, because after 4 I cannot find them, and that's fine.
Do you all work the same 6 hours? Because I suppose you could stagger it. You could have half your team start at 9 and finish at 3, and then some start at 11 and finish at 5.
It's a good point, but that way you lose the sync at the start of the day, and you get stuck with people being in different phases of their work day. And
yeah.
we try to like batch it. Communications at the start and the end of the day, and in the middle you get like productivity work.
Yeah,
so, but it's not important. It's not that important for the developers to be available at all hours. Like you wouldn't try to deploy something on Friday, right? Like Friday afternoon, you wouldn't want to deploy something. You'll try to schedule it to when you're available, and it's important to set boundaries also to clients and to people you work with. That's my schedule, and that's when I'm working. Yeah. It's a difficult sell, though. I understand it.
The other thing that I've seen happen is companies that are trying to offer flexible working, so you can start whenever and finish whenever. They sometimes have core hours where you can start at 8 in the morning and finish earlier, or but they have 10 until 3. Everybody has to work between those hours.
Yeah.
You can maybe make smaller, and then some people could start early, some people could leave, but you have your stand-up at 10 a.m. when you know everybody is working.
Yeah. We have a fixed hour for stand-up also. We try to be flexible, but it doesn't work that well. Like, if you wake up at 7 and want to work, okay, and you get off 2 hours earlier, but it's not like you have your daily stand-up in the middle of your workday, and it doesn't like help that much.
It might have been implied in your presentation, since you said you employed 3 more people. Was that due to increased revenue, or was that because everyone is working 2 hours less and you need more people?
We had more needs for more people, but not
But
because.
that increased.
But we hired like a designer, a senior developer, and a project manager. So it wasn't like an increase. We didn't hire more devs. So it wasn't like we didn't get the job done, but we needed, like, we wanted to have like custom designs in-house, and we also wanted to have like better organization. So yeah,
Okay.
I think that's my time, or I guess.
You're already animated. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I've got one more question. You've sparked a lot of ideas, and my brain is just going.
Sorry, I have to like.
You said that you had to be more productive with your communication and with your project management had to be on point. Did you offer training for that, or did you just kind of expect people just need to communicate more effectively?
Good question. We didn't have any training. Like we also like learned this by doing. So no.
Just kind of set the rules, and then everybody has to just do it. Thank you. That was brilliant.
Thank you.